Hello friends, Julie here, just dropping in to give you a quick content warning. Because we discuss Outlander Season 5 in this episode of Dudelander, there is discussion of sexual violence and assault. If you'd like to still listen along but skip those bits, the relevant timestamps are 28 minutes and 50 seconds through 31 minutes and 15 seconds, 41 minutes and 15 seconds through 41 minutes and 43 seconds, and 51 minutes and 50 seconds through 56 minutes and 25 seconds. Thanks, and enjoy Dudelander. Oh, shit. I don't want to break a nail.
That's right, we do this.
And then, okay. All right. Okay. I guess
One. Yeah, we should probably
number
do
two.
one.
We should just do two.
We should probably. Whoa! We're gonna need a towel over here.
More than one.
Well.
All right. Okay. Well, it seems like the time has come to say the three most anticipated words in the history of niche television podcasting. What is Outlander?
I thought you were going to say, "Welcome to Dudelander," and then I was going to groan.
I thought you guys had a drop that was like screeching eagles and like Ford F-150s revving, and then it was like, "Welcome to Dudelander." We're two idiots.
Gravel pounding.
Just talk about shit.
Who do we know that could put that together on short notice?
Zach.
Matt Test.
Oh.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Welcome to Podlander, Drunkcast, and Outlander podcast. I'm Allison.
I'm Julie.
And we are just passengers on this ride.
Prisoners.
You know what? Yeah.
Welcome to Dudelander. This is the first Dudelander since the before times, as they say.
The long, long ago.
Since the prequel of the life we live now. So we have with us one. Oh, hey, yeah. You know what? Real quick.
Yeah.
Just real quick. If you've never heard of Dudelander before, I want to tell you a couple things for context. One, this is about to be incredibly stupid. I mean, I know they're all stupid. Like, I know that's our thing, but this is going to be extra stupid.
Yeah.
Two, you really should at some point go listen to one of the other Dudelanders, especially one of the ones where people got worried that Kevin hurt Neal's feelings.
Think about that twice a week, every week.
Look at my big doe eyes.
Okay. But three, we are recording this in, when is it? February of 2022.
Yes.
We have not done a Dudelander since 2019.
I think it was because the last time we recorded in front of a live audience was in February of 2020, right before lockdown happened. And that was us doing like season 4 wrap up.
Season 4 kickoff.
Right. So
Kickoff.
season 5 happened while we were all kind of in lockdown.
Yeah.
Right.
That was what we were doing, right? Season 5. It was the season 5 kickoff
Right. And
by doing fanfic.
did we ever do a Dudelander season 4? We had to have, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So this has been since 2019.
I think it's
You're right.
2019.
Oh my God. That's like almost, it feels like 10 years, but it's really 2.
I want to ask a question. Because this will make my point better than I can. When did you last watch an episode of Outlander, gentlemen?
I assume together.
Well, we watched this last season. We watched, I think, 2 episodes together, and then the rest of it in the most asinine way possible. In that, to watch together, we opened up like a Skype call.
Oh, was it pandemic times?
It was pandemic
Yeah,
times.
season 5 happened.
I mean, sorry, I know it's still pandemic times. First lockdown times.
Yes, initial pandemic times when people were
Our
better.
dear pal Amelia, it says season 1 of the Panini.
Yeah.
God, delicious. So we watched most of that season with Neal had the audio on in his place. I had subtitles on in my place, and then we had an open Skype call so I could get the audio from the TV, but we could also make shitty comments to each other while watching it.
And you could do Sudoku.
And I did so many Sudokus. It was a flashback to season 1. So that's how we watched the bulk of this.
More like Rudoku.
All right.
That sounds like a made-up business from RuPaul's Drag Race. The puzzle game sensation that's sweeping the nation.
TM. You want to just say TM so that no one can take that idea from you. You want to lock that down.
I'm sure that RuPaul already has Rudoku trademarked.
Hashtag Drag Race Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so whenever the last episode aired, maybe a week after that is the last time we watched an episode
Yeah.
of Outlander.
Okay, so for sure not in
2020.
2 years.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
a little under 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't ever go back and rewatch any together since then? That didn't happen?
It's odd. It was on the list. And I remember we put it up there and we were like, we should.
Mm-hmm.
And we just never got to
Just
it.
never got to
Just
it.
never got to it.
Well, we have all been really busy doing jack shit.
Surviving.
Surviving. True. Now it's getting real. I
Gotta get
just
in that
want to
hatch.
say, before we mercilessly roll our eyes at you and roast you for the next however long this is going to take, I love you both very much.
Yeah.
Now eat shit and die.
Okay.
Go right
Fair
ahead.
enough. Fair enough.
Neal, before we get started,
Is there a little something over there?
I was going to ask, is your head cold?
It is.
Okay.
I thought these headphones would do it, but they're
Oh
not
my
quite.
God.
We
Me-
hate surprises.
Sorry, let me get you this to kind of warm up your head a little bit.
Oh, that's why
You don't want to sit alone.
Take a photo immediately. They got beer helmets. There's a red one and a blue one, and they're putting their 2 Miller Lights. You know what? As the person who edits these podcasts, I actually have to thank you. This is a genius idea because you won't have to keep setting your beer down on the table.
Right.
Yeah, that's why we did it, not because
Yeah.
we wanted to get 2 beers down at once.
Oh my God! Please.
Careful with the straw, because they definitely
Yeah,
Once
see,
you
I see
start-
it's got a medical apparatus on it.
fun don't
Oh
stop.
my God! Can you get a picture
Lord.
of the 2 of them in the frame together?
Yes.
Okay, this will
Is this
definitely.
supposed to be a
It should pinch off like a
loaf?
yeah, like a loaf. That's the exact term I was going to use. But if you
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're supposed to be able to do this
Yeah.
number, and then you can release. Okay, so
got it,
Okay. Gentlemen, please,
Mm.
please look at the.
Oh,
Please look at Allison's phone.
Ah.
We're fucking live on Instagram.
Oh
now.
shit!
Are you guys just gonna shotgun the 2 beers and then get into talking about Outlander season 5?
Well, it's not really pinching off well, so I don't think that was the plan, but
Commit
that's the
to bit,
reality.
Kevin. Listeners, the look of panic in Kevin's eyes is just so
Oh my gosh!
delicious.
Oh, it's all head. May I have a napkin or something I have made?
yeah, we
know
we
what?
might need some napkins.
You're gonna need to use those sweatshirts, gentlemen.
No,
You're hoisted on your own
I
fucking
don't know if
bit
you know,
petard.
but this is live.
Yeah.
Oh, does anybody watch this stuff live? Like,
I think I can do it like
Did
this.
you want to say hi to Sam, Amelia, Sean, and Clint?
I will say this to
Who?
Amelia. May I, camera one right here? I want to pet your new dog, Amelia, and if I don't, I will find you, and then I'll pet your old dog.
What the?
Have we actually said what's happening? So what's happening
Yes.
is they
The beer helmets.
beer helmets.
Just mentioned earlier, but
okay,
now
thank you. I was busy being distracted
I
by
know.
this.
Well, it's very
the
easy.
tomfoolery,
Oh my god, this is a
The
horrible idea.
skullduggery,
Is it?
the
chicanery,
shenanigans,
the hijinks,
the sheer gall.
I've spilled beer all over
the
this chair.
gumption,
We're just gonna keep doing drag
the
race references about
nerve,
these guys.
the audacity.
The charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and no talent.
Yeah, I would say that all applies to me right now.
Kevin, yours is all fucked up. I'm sorry.
How? What happened to it?
No, it's just you're right. It's all head. There's no like the beer's
Ugh.
not actually coming through.
I'm just going to do it like a dentist.
Yeah,
Just like being at the dentist.
this was one of the worst purchases I've ever made on a global company. That
And you made
is
this
pretty evil.
purchase 2 years ago?
We thought, oh man, already the burps are coming out. We thought this would be really funny in April of 2020. Like, what a silly thing to do. And then these have been sitting in my home because Neal couldn't bring his here out of fear that Julie would find it.
And I would.
So this is a 2-year-old bit that really is blowing up in my face right now.
You know what? It smells like a 2-year-old bit.
Oh yeah, this is some old ass Miller Lite too. I had to clean out the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey man.
These are all Miller Lights I probably bought to your house, right?
No. These are from MacGruber Night.
Oh, you brought the. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening to Podlander, Drunkcast, and
I
Outlander
guess
podcast.
that's it today.
Is that the entire podcast? Are we done? Did we cover it all?
I think so. Yeah, imagine what would happen if this was actually the entirety of the season 5 episode of Dudelander. If we just were like, cut, print, and then put it up on the Patreon.
I am. Well, it sounds like Dudelander.
Oh boy.
Gentlemen, how much beer do you have left?
Probably a lot.
I would say,
Yeah,
it
probably gonna be a lot.
feels like it's at least half a can each. So maybe I'm done with 12 ounces.
Okay, if I may throw you guys a bone here. I'm going to play some fucking off-brand yakety sax, and you guys are going to go take those things off, and we're going to get started. Okay? Go ahead. And we're back. I'm sorry, gentlemen. That was,
No need to apologize to me.
Yeah, I think we're the winners in this.
Yeah.
and we all lost. Everyone listening.
Welcome to Dudelander. And then that's when the drop would happen. Screaming eagles, roaring F-150s.
Yeah.
This time
Maybe
an
some whale
explosion.
song.
Whale song.
Whale song.
Go further on that.
They just like whales.
Make that sound. It's in. Put it in.
Okay. So, season 5 of Outlander.
Go!
Wow.
I will say, I did think about trying to come up with a custom shot for us to drink for this episode.
How many things that aren't Outlander do you think they can find to talk about?
Well, this is.
This is Outlander.
But
related,
the idea was flaming grasshopper.
because remember the locusts.
Oh, I remember.
But then I was like, okay, so am I gonna take some of that Fireball over there and mix it with some creme de menthe, and then we're just gonna have that. And then last night, our friend of the show, Kelly Loris, was like, I have some grasshopper salt that I bought in Mexico. I was like, yeah, no, Kevin's not gonna do that. No, never mind. You know what? I'm not doing this.
I would do it.
Would you?
Yeah.
Grasshopper salt?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I underestimated you, bud.
It's all right. I mean, I thought we knew each other better after the pandemic, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I look forward to the iTunes review that's like, I really like Dudelander, except for when Neal hurts Kevin's feelings.
Show me your dough eyes, bud.
Whoever writes that in there, I will send you a cookie in the mail.
Grasshopper cookie.
A grasshopper cookie. Yep, that's a promise from Neal. I did. So I wrote down a list of things I remember.
Is that a haiku?
No. I went through. I wrote notes. I prepared for this.
So you wrote a list of things you remember, and Neal thought it was a haiku?
Yeah.
Are there 575 things you remember?
It looks like it's in verse.
It looks like a Carl Sandburg poem. It doesn't look like a haiku. Like, I don't know where you got that, but it's just quick notes. But I wrote down things I remembered, and Locust was number 1 on the list.
Yep.
Wow.
Number 1, because that was so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Why was it dumb?
What locusts? Now we're dealing with biblical plagues. Like what?
You
this
know,
show wears
but
too many
you know
hats on top
locusts
of
are a
hats.
real thing, right?
Yes, I'm familiar with the fact that locusts
it.
are a real thing.
Did you know Netherlands, the Holland, the Holland,
The Holland.
the Holland,
The
Guys,
Tom
I'm
Holland?
the Holland.
It's the Tom Holland. Yeah. So I just remember that storyline being so stupid. Wasn't it like Roger? He had to prove that he was not
Oh,
an idiot.
yeah.
And he
that's
was in
just
charge for like
so
8 hours. And
Roger, go to Roger.
a plague of locusts came
Yeah.
during his 8-hour watch of what's their town's name?
Brownstown.
Ridge.
Jamieville,
Jamesville?
Yeah.
Jamie Land.
Flavortown. So Roger's in
Mount
charge
Fraser?
of Flavor.
No, Fraser Ridge. Fraser's Ridge.
There
That's a
we go.
There
thing,
you
right?
go. You found it.
Yeah.
I do have a list also of questions of things that I'm like,
Great.
do I remember this? What was Claire's fake doctor pseudonym that she wrote under?
Oh, I can't remember. It was the name on that
Seuss.
case.
Yeah.
I
It was
wrote Dr.
Geisel.
Pepper, and I know that's not right.
Dr. Pepper is wrong.
Geisel.
Yeah,
So
Geisel.
Dr. Seuss.
Yes,
Nice try.
Theodore Geisel. It's his real name.
No, I know.
Okay.
it's not really what it was. Although I mean, I guess that these jokes don't work super well because I can totally see a universe in which Diana Gabaldon would write a section of Outlander where Claire starts using the pseudonym Dr. Pepper.
Just for
Dr.
shits.
Dr. Bronner.
All is one. I can't remember. I know it was in the little medical case that she had with the
Dr.
syringes.
Hollywood.
Looks like now we're the experts.
Yeah. So my
Dr.
research
Hollywood's
was
good. Saw that movie in the theater.
You're so old. My research was going through Wikipedia, and then I went to watch the trailer for the upcoming season, assuming that we would probably talk about that maybe. And then I ended up watching a Watch Mojo, like 5 greatest moments of Outlander history, and not a single one came from season 5. And I went, this is not helpful.
That's very real, though.
Yeah, as long as they were mostly from seasons 1 and 2.
Actually, I was looking up the Wikipedia today, too, and I got a little bit deeper than I thought I would, and I ended up clicking on the ratings tab, and it's really funny to watch how high the ratings are in season 1 and 2. 3 kind of, it bumps up a little bit, and you're surprised, but you're like, oh no, that's when 1 and 2 came out on Netflix. And then season 4 and 5 are slowly declining. You know why? No boning. Not enough boning. It's the truth.
Yeah, it does not seem like there has been much.
Limited boning.
Limited
Some
boning.
Roger and what's her name?
Brianna.
Some Roger and Brianna boning, maybe.
Yeah, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
That we got like an all skate boning montage though.
We did get an episode that had an all skate boning montage.
Well, and you mentioned to me earlier the magic hand job.
Yes.
2 pumps?
2 pumps?
No, like magical angel pumps that restored him to life. Do you not remember that?
Not at all.
Oh,
Not at all.
my God. You do not remember the hand job that brought Jamie back to life?
What situation? Oh, when he was bitten by a snake.
Yes.
Add that to the list. That's God, he was bitten by a fucking snake.
Right in the near his crotch.
Right in the crotchal area.
Got him
Who
back to
sucked
the
the venom out
ridge.
of that?
Oh, fucking Roger, right?
Roger put his lips to that flesh and just sucked that venom
Tried
right
to save
out.
his life. It wasn't.
Ratings
spit
went
it
up a
out.
little bit there.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I wrote George Washington on the list, and now I don't remember
Oh,
a note I
right.
wrote yesterday. Is George Washington in this season or season 4?
Oh,
He
yeah,
appeared
that's
in
right.
both, right?
Was it both?
I think it's just season 4.
Okay.
Oh, at the play.
But don't worry, he'll be
back.
Okay.
Is that a Hamilton reference?
No,
No.
but guess it wasn't unintentional. Yeah. But that's
I hope Claire makes his teeth.
No, you don't.
Oh God, nothing would piss me off more than her like whittling his teeth.
His teeth. I thought you said mixes teeth, and I was like, mixes teeth with what?
You know, a little of this, a little of that. And so he's going to be a hero or a villain when he comes back into this show.
Americans ask themselves that every fucking day.
The answer is villain. Always villain.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
That
6
includes
feet tall,
us, guys.
fucking killing for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made of radiation. Yeah.
Okay. What
Washington.
else? What else is on? What's in your haiku?
Fuck hut.
Yeah.
There's a hut that people go to.
Do you remember this?
Specifically, Murta and Jocasta bone in the hut because he's on the run.
Oh, it's, yeah.
It's
like
on the
it's like a
lamb
shack in the
fucking.
woods, but
Yeah.
it's still on the Fraser land somewhere, like way back in the back 40 or something.
What does the Fraser land mean? They just roped
The
off an
Fraser's
area and
Ridge
were like,
thing?
everyone accept
Like
this.
like all the land Jamie got because he won the race to get there, I guess, and steal it from the Native Americans.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds right.
Don't correct
Like
me.
in the Tom Cruise classic, Far and Away.
Not at all. Not at all. It's great. Let's keep going.
Actually, correct me if this is wrong.
It's wrong.
Does Jocasta's manservant, I can't remember his name, like her right-hand guy that runs her property, River Run?
Yes.
Yes.
Does she? Well, I watched that Watch Mojo thing. That's all I know. Does that man
Riverlands.
crush a dude's head like a zit in this season of TV? Does that happen?
No.
That's Peacemaker seeping into my to my understanding of what's going on here.
His name is Ulysses.
Yeah.
And no, but he does kill somebody.
Because I could have sworn in my mind he hoists because Ulysses is a very large man and it was one of the
hobbit.
hobbits, yes, and he hoists him off the ground, and then I just imagine he smashed his head in like a zit.
No, I think it's kind of implied that he broke his neck.
That's a much cleaner kill.
Yeah.
There
Can
would
we-
be no more second breakfast.
But yes, Ulysses did kill a bitch for stepping to Jocasta the wrong way.
Well, she married the hobbit.
No,
Right?
no.
No.
The Hobbit was a lawyer that was trying to get all this money, was trying to get River Run,
And he wanted to marry Brianna.
and was trying to marry Brianna to make sure that he would inherit River Run.
And he's somehow related to the fucking asshole fucking pirate dude, right? The dread pirate.
yes,
What's
he
his
had
name?
some doings with
Dread pirate bonnet. I've got that written down.
perfect dread pirate bonnet. The Hobbit did have dealings with him. Yes.
I think I gotta object to that nickname.
Okay.
Okay. That's
Oh,
fair.
you're right, because
you don't
the
want to
dread-
conflate them.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Th-
You know what, Allison? As you wish.
Thank you. I was gonna say he is no farm boy.
You're right.
No, he is
No, no.
not. No.
I have Murtaugh dies and it's Roger's fault.
No.
No, not really. He does die.
What?
I know that he dies because
Yeah.
I remember I had to go to a eulogy.
You didn't have to do
You were
shit.
invited.
You were welcomed.
I spoke eloquently, as I remember. Many tears were shed. After
Tears
my
were
words.
shed. That was a very special occasion.
Wait, it wasn't Roger's fault though, right? I thought Roger
Or
was
was
like,
it?
I thought Roger was like, "Hey, buddy, time to go," and then he stepped out, and then somebody shot Murtaugh. Is that not how it went down?
No.
Oh man.
Or was it?
No.
This section is called Dudelander. Us fucking figuring it out.
But Murtaugh did die.
Yes.
And Jamie did yell at everyone in existence to bring his dead body back to life after dragging him through the woods.
Okay, so this is in my brain how the events were pieced together. Murtaugh's like hiding behind a tree, and he's like, "Oh, I shouldn't fucking be here." And Roger waves, and he's like, "It's all clear, buddy. Time to go." Murtaugh steps out. He gets shot, and then because of that, somebody captures Roger, and then he gets hung. Which I think I'm taking pieces of 8 different episodes and smashing them into 2 minutes.
You are.
That
I-
is
Which is
I am-
probably how the series should be done.
But I am now
in my
remembering how.
No,
Murtaugh
opposite.
dies.
Opposite. Opposite of that. That is the opposite of how it should be done. Please don't just randomly jam any more storylines together. I am fucking begging you.
Grand Jam.
Please. Please. Just please.
What were you about to say, Neil?
Now I do remember how Murtaugh dies, though.
Wait, what's your version
Well,
of the
it's a
events?
whole fight in the woods. Actually, I think it might be Jamie, but they think it's one. They think it's like done, and there's a moment of like, oh, and everything's okay, and then some baby redcoat shoots him.
That's closer to the truth.
That's closer to the truth.
But isn't there a moment like a fake, like everything's gonna be okay right
Yes.
before he gets shot? And what is that moment?
when they hug each other,
Who?
Jamie and Murtaugh.
Yeah, Jamie. Right. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Jamie's fault.
It's Jamie's fault.
It is
There we go.
Jamie's fault.
It's War's fault.
It is. You're right.
It's
is
War's fault.
But that is when.
And who is the god of war in this
Jamie
show?
Malcolm.
Jamie fucking Malcolm.
No, I'm
Fraser.
sorry. Jamie is not the god of war. Jamie is the god of bringing you to completion with one finger in approximately 90 seconds.
You know what? I'd rather pray to that God.
Yeah.
So Jamie is in his red coat, right? And he sees Murtaugh and is trying to shield him, and there's just happens to be somebody behind him that doesn't know they're related and shoots Murtaugh while he's
Right, because
And
Jamie's
thinks
been
he's
trying to play
pre-
both sides.
Right.
Well, he thinks he's protecting Jamie.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
thinks he's doing the right thing.
And
this
then-
kid.
Because he's one
Jamie-
of Jamie's one of Jamie's quote unquote soldiers. I'm doing big air quotes
yes.
in the air.
And then Jamie drags Murtaugh's body back to Claire to try to get her to bring him back to life. And then he has that scene where he goes out and takes off the red coat and like throws it in Tryon's face.
You know what? Sam Hewen is really fucking good in that scene.
That scene was
He's
good.
really good.
When he takes off the red coat and is like,
Well, and also when he's like, "Okay, Claire, do your thing.
yeah,
Please
you
do
can
your
bring it
thing."
back.
And you can see in the back of his eyes that he just knows it's not actually going to fucking work. But he's like,
Yeah.
"Please remember that one time, every zillion time that you brought me back from the brink of death by narrative convenience.
Do it.
Yeah, do it
Could
now.
you please do
Do
that
it.
now?"
do it for this guy? No.
Oh, I remember the hand job now.
Yeah. But I mean, I think we can all agree that no matter how good of an actor Sam Hewen is at this point, he's better than he was.
Yes. He's a much better Jamie.
He was good in that scene. He was legitimately good in that
He
scene.
was very good
Oh,
in
but
that
you know
scene.
what? But I mean, a lot of goodwill was lost for me with fucking men in kilts, though.
We're talking about Outlander. Let's try.
Yeah,
Let's try
so I
not to-
can't talk about the travelogue show that fucking
No, you can't.
Sam
but
Hewen and fucking Graham McTavish had.
This is, you know what? We gotta let this keep going because it is about time that Kevin didn't have to be the villain in this season of Dudelander.
Okay,
so
excellent.
go ahead, Neil, please.
Yeah, I'm just saying that Jamie was. You guys probably talked about this on the show at some point, right? I don't listen.
Yeah,
Sam-
but they
Sam
love
Hewen.
us.
Okay, well, I'm just saying that Sam was kind of a fucking dick to Graham throughout that season. He was kind of the bully. Like, I'm just gonna kind of needle you and wheedle you, and I'm gonna fucking like talk you into doing shit you're uncomfortable with doing, and I'm gonna make fun of you while you're doing it. And that's just not
So
the
you
best
would
behavior.
say that I am the Sam Huon to your Graham McTavish.
I was actually just about to say that you are the Graham McTavish and you are the Sam Huon.
But I'm the old one.
Yeah, you're so fucking old. My God. You saw Doc Hollywood in theaters, you old sack of shit.
Man, we should have called that helicopter.
Okay, I have another thing on here.
Great.
Excellent.
We're gonna keep this moving. There is, and correct me after this, but there is a time traveling Native American who tries to
Ottertooth.
Tecumseh the various nations to fight against the impending colonization.
Ottertooth,
Is that
right?
season
Yes.
5 or season 4?
Both?
Yes.
Both.
We meet him. It's like the vision of him
Yes,
starts
we
in season
never
4.
meet him. He's dead.
Right, they
Oh,
find his skull
God.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Claire finds a skull. Remember by that stone?
Oh God, that's right. He's a ghost. Fuck this
But
show.
there's
A
also
flash forward?
no. You're conflating two characters.
Yes.
There's another one.
There's another Native
Who's
American
not
time traveler
Ottertooth.
who's not Ottertooth.
Oh, those codes.
Wait,
But he's from the 60s.
wait. I thought that guy.
They were from this.
They're
I
both from the same time.
I can't remember how much of this is book knowledge, but they're from the same time. They just when they went through the stones, they did a bad job, so they ended up in different time periods. But they're for the same. They were a group of people going after the same goal.
Oh, they were all together.
Yeah, but most of them died because again they were bad at traveling through the stones.
Almost everyone is,
Yeah,
except for Gayless
Except-
Duncan.
and Claire.
Yeah, well,
and that was
she's not
really
great
the.
at it.
But no, she's bad at time traveling.
Yeah.
She's
Is
good at
Gayless
going through the
Duncan?
stones.
Is Gayless Duncan the French apothecary? Oh no, what's her name? Gayless. Who was the French apothecary who we never got an answer to whether or not he was a time
Raymond.
traveler?
Monsieur.
Monsieur
Raymond.
Raymond. And then Gayless was Hottie McHotterton with the eyeball brooch,
Oh,
right?
covered in blood, dude.
Yeah.
Covered in blood.
This yes, Kevin. We all remember your favorite scene in Outlander.
Honestly,
Also his favorite Britney Spears video.
yeah, one and the same. When this whole thing comes to an end, right, and it's the final Dudelander because the series is over.
As we stand among the ashes.
Yes, as the world burns below us and we talk about Outlander. The only positive thing that I will come out of this with is Gayless Duncan covered in blood. And I will get it tattooed upon my chest. And at that moment, I
Wait,
will
the image or
rip
the
up-
words?
Both. Because no one will know what the image means.
Plus, I'm the one doing the tattooing, so it's really poor. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's a stick figure covered in red.
I'm sorry. If we are really talking about roles that we're going to be taking in the apocalypse, there's absolutely no way that you're the designated tattoo artist. We have friends with actual visual art abilities.
They're all dead.
No, they're not. I'm sorry. Josh Davis, he's not going to die. He's going to be fine. Are you kidding? He's been eating specifically very familiar, recognizable, bland foods his entire life. He's better prepared to just subsist on canned peas than anyone I've ever met in my entire life. He's going to be fine. Josh Davis, he's going to make it.
And he'll do the tattoos.
Yeah. Julie and I, on the other hand, dead meat.
Dead meat. Yep.
Yeah. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
The meat that's dead.
Yeah,
Because
you
you're
can-
going to have to eat us.
You can eat all this. I recommend starting with the
What
haunches.
about all this?
I recommend starting with the haunches. That's where the most meat and fat is. So get in there.
I know too much about cooking to go any further down this road.
Long pig.
I have Stephen Bonnet dies. I'm coming back to my list because I
Yes.
don't
Does
want to
he
talk
die?
about cannibalism. No, he gets murdered on a tiny island in this season, right?
Not really murdered. That was season 4, right?
I don't fucking know.
But
no.
is he dead? Did he die?
He's dead.
He is dead.
Well, but is anybody ever really dead on Outlander? We don't know.
Is
but
he
yes,
killed by
he's dead.
Brianna?
Yes.
Yes.
Good for her.
And it's a mercy killing, but also not.
It's a mercy killing, but also straight
You know
murder.
what? This is good because they keep saying things that sound ridiculous. And then I explain some of why they're actually slightly more interesting than that. And then I remember that they are actually slightly more interesting than that. This is good. This is good. You're preparing me for the next season.
So
That's great. Thanks,
Stephen
guys.
Bonnet got killed.
Yeah,
And then
he's
the
dead.
next villain was the leader of that little enclave of poor dirt
Brown
farmers.
Town,
that
Clown
they all-
Town, yeah.
Yeah, so they made war on those poor dirt farmers and wiped them out.
No, wait a minute.
No.
Do you remember what the dirt farmers did?
They stole Claire. It's on my list.
And then gang raped her repeatedly.
But also, they were trying to hold a baby hostage for money, and then also trying to kill a kid who fucked somebody's daughter.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, because do you remember
But they defeated them, right?
Little Trading Post of Horrors? Do you?
I
Yeah.
wrote
Yeah,
that.
that little dirt village they all lived in. Is that what you're talking about, right?
Browntown. No, Browntown was a normal town.
Just a town.
Oh, I thought it was just like a muddy,
Well,
wide spot in the road.
They didn't have paved roads back then, Neil, so that's why it looks so muddy and looks like a dirt town. Is because it's
because
just a
it was.
fucking path. But,
But
they had
they defeated
homes
those
and
people,
stuff.
right?
I mean, they left with their life. No, they didn't defeat them. They're their neighbors. Like they continue to be. They defeat them when they gang rape. I'm so sorry. We shouldn't be just tossing gang rape.
You're
right.
right.
We're talking about the Browntown shit right now. Please navigate 10 minutes further into the episode if you don't want to listen.
We're gonna spend 10 minutes on
No,
this.
no.
not.
I'm
Yeah,
giving
'cause
us
this
a
was
buffer.
Not what I was trying to get to.
They, if you'll remember, Wee Ian, like whirling dervish, takes his fucking tomahawks and annihilates a bunch of fucking rapists in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
That happens.
Literally
Yes.
no memory. Got it. Keep
That
going.
was pretty good. I remember that.
No recall. Keep going.
Yeah, that's the people in the town, but they don't defeat them in the town. It's after they fucking kidnap Claire and gang rape her, and also assault an extremely pregnant Marsley. And
Sorry, but I guess my question is that town, are there still people in that town that are like a massive threat to them?
Yes.
yes,
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
because they killed one of the brothers, but then like the mayor
One
of
of
the town.
the other brother's still out there.
Yeah.
So at this
because it
point,
wasn't like the town; it was like a band of ruffians.
because
It was.
again, what I was trying to get to is that with the death of Bonnet, the main villains out there are then Browntown and colonial
Clown.
government.
Yes.
Okay.
Is this what
Well,
Janine
do I
feels like
sound
on
really
every
different now?
episode? I have no idea.
No,
what
he's
you guys
way
are
more
talking about.
together than that.
Maybe I'll just get closer.
JK.
JK.
No, I mean he
I'm sure
actually
it's
really is way more together than that. Anyway, yeah, Browntown is a thing.
Okay.
But
and Browntown remains a
Remains
town.
a thing.
Remains a thing. All right, Kevin. Next question.
Since we've covered that topic, well, no, I don't want to get to it. That's not a question. That's a critique. So when we get to the critiques section,
Okay.
I have a pretty big critique. Is there a thing where they make their own whiskey in this season?
Yes.
Yes,
Like it's a big thing that like they make their whiskey and then they lose all the whiskey?
Yes.
it's
That's
also
also
a part of
related
this story.
to
And it's also
Browntown.
bad, right?
Yes.
Yes, the
Yeah.
whiskey.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean they're just making it gets good eventually.
Oh, okay.
But
so,
it's
this
like-
is new.
so this isn't another like long-term thing that Jamie's actually bad at.
No, Jamie's very good at making whiskey. He's making whiskey out of, nothing, and it's potent enough to clean paintbrushes and get you drunk.
Okay.
It's just that it doesn't taste good yet because it's new.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. White lightning.
I wrote not enough trips to Pound Town. That's a thing I remember from this
we
season.
agree. All four of us around this
Too
table.
many
can
trips to
agree on this.
Browntown.
Not enough trips to Pound Town. Yeah.
Perfect.
There is the window fuck.
Yes, that was very good. Do you remember that when
Not
she
at
was
all.
having the hot flash and he put her in the window and ate her out while she hung out the window? That was cool.
I don't remember him mowing her box.
He
but
was.
Was that
mowing
in
her
the
fucking
house or
box.
was that at like
in
a
the house
Okay.
upstairs?
One
in
of the
bedroom.
many windows. They opened it and
Yes.
she
The
leaned
The
out
bedroom window.
and let that cool colonial breeze rush right over her nips.
while he took care of business down
Mm-hmm.
below.
Wait, it's season 4. They live in like the 1-bedroom
The
cabin.
smaller cabin. That's
And
where
then
Brianna
season
and
5, they
Roger
have
live now.
a manor that 1,000 people
Yeah.
built for them.
Yeah.
where
Yes.
They live.
My father has
on the
many
ground.
mansions and there are many rooms within. Yeah.
Okay. And then I believe in the trailer I saw there's like 8 new structures.
There's a new building going up. Yes.
There is a sizable settlement.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait.
Do you remember the buffalo?
No. Was it a man in a buffalo suit?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Oh, that was going to be my question.
Okay.
Wait, Bear Suit is season 4, right?
Yes.
Oui.
Well, it wasn't the QAnon shaman, was
He did come in and knock somebody on their ass, I guess.
Here's a question I wrote from
Sorry,
my.
just if that showed up in Outlander, like, and you didn't already know what it was, it wouldn't look out of place.
Oh God, we're all gonna die.
Here's a question that a question of a thing I vaguely remember. Was there a storyline where Roger, after he was hung, was unable to sing, and it was a very big thing that he couldn't sing "You Are My Sunshine"?
It was, I think, just kind of a big thing that he couldn't talk. Period.
But we lost that heavenly voice, and he couldn't sing.
Yes, that was definitely part of it. But it was really because he couldn't talk at all, and he was, severely traumatized.
And music is very important to him.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have television.
Or sweaters.
No, they have plenty.
Yeah,
of
they got
sweaters,
sweaters.
Neal.
Don't worry about
Jesus
sweaters.
Christ! If there's one thing they have, it's fucking knitwear,
And windows.
and plain glass windows.
yeah,
Though,
wearing windows.
that's all the stuff I remembered off the top of my head.
So wait, hold on. Let's back up just slightly.
Go
You
for
guys
it.
do not remember the buffalo
No.
that charges into their front yard.
If I
and
make
knocks-
this sound, will it start?
It hits Bree, right?
And
Yeah.
then yeah,
And she flips
flies
in the air.
and lands on her back and somehow miraculously survives.
it's mom adrenaline. She had to save Jen.
Yeah, it was super mom shit, but
God, I do not remember this.
I only remember it in terms of like
It's the most America's funniest home videos Outlander has ever been.
well, give it time. You don't know what's coming around the bend this
I
season.
do actually. I've read the books.
yeah.
The books have deviated. Obviously, the show has deviated from the books. Like, does she really in the books get hit by a buffalo?
No.
Yeah, so expect
But-
some weird
So yeah,
shit.
you don't know what's coming.
Yeah, maybe the show could
Anything could happen.
surprise you.
Pterodactyls
I mean,
and
there
shit.
was a man
In a
in
bear.
a bear
bear
suit
suit.
instead of a bear.
Yeah.
Right? So you have no idea what sort of weird creative liberties they'll take with this.
But yeah, so Jimmy was out in the front yard, right, with Lizzie, and this big buffalo shows up, and fucking Brianna runs out there to grab Jimmy, and the buffalo charges her and knocked her on her ass.
Sorry.
You don't remember that?
Back up for a second. Who is Lizzie?
Lizzie is Brianna's maid. Remember the girl that's been with her this whole time that she took from her father because she had tuberculosis? She has
Malaria.
Malaria,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
But she's been there.
Irish?
Sorry, she's been there the whole
Scottish.
time.
She's from overseas, right?
She's Welsh. She's from Wales.
She's not
She's
Welsh.
been with Brianna the whole time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
in all the travels. and
Yep.
shit.
Probably
yep.
Dutch.
Yep.
And I'm all like, please get her together.
So Lizzie's the maid,
Yes,
and Jimmy.
is the kid. Her and Roger's kid, the
Yeah,
baby.
Jen.
Oh, they have a kid. Okay.
And it's confirmed that it's Roger's kid because it can hear the stone.
It can
noise.
travel through time.
There was
But
also
it can't travel through time because it didn't. Because no one travels through time.
No,
in
it
this
was.
season.
It wasn't because of the baby. It was.
I want to be really clear that this thing I'm about to say is not a thing that happens in the books. They go to the stones and they think, we have to go home. And they all have their jewels and they put their hands on the stone and they wake up and they haven't gone anywhere because they're already home.
Home is where the heart is. That makes sense. What happens in the books?
They go back in time. They go back to the fucking future is what happens.
Oh, so
Back
more interesting
to the future.
choice. Okay.
I mean, who knows?
It's your kids, Marty.
light spoiler, but I don't think it's gonna happen, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, they go back.
So where they go, they don't need roads because they don't exist.
No, where they go, there are roads because not everything is a mud town anymore.
Where they go, there are hot showers.
Yeah.
It's like that.
All right, that's
So how are they gonna? You know what? That's
Nope.
for another time.
That is another conversation.
That is a
indeed.
completely other.
Was that like the end of the
conversation.
season or something? Them trying to go back and not being able to?
Pretty. It was close. It was
close.
right before the end of the season because that's the fiery cross, and they see the fiery cross when they're coming back because they left and then
Claire got
and then
kidnapped.
Claire got nabbed. And so then they come back and they're like, we're home. Oh, shit. And then they have to go. And Roger's like, oh, great. I'm really glad I stayed. Time to go murder some people in the woods.
Oh, and
Again.
then that's the big like revenge on Browntown.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Retrieval of kidnapped woman. That
Retrieval
involves-
and straight murder.
yeah, which involves murdering a bunch of
Yeah.
assholes,
Yes.
rapist assholes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the final season or final episode?
Yes.
Fiery Cross? Okay.
No, never my love. Remember how she would dissociated and had the like beautiful mid-century modern like dream of
That's the
living in that
last
beautiful
episode?
house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it was like everybody that was important from the series that is no longer there was like back at the table. Like Graham
Well,
McTavish showed up.
But there were people who were still there, but it was just
Yeah.
like it was in 1967.
You
and they were all
remember
together.
Graham McTavish did actually show up.
Well, once we started talking about men in kilts and I remembered that Graham McTavish was a real person that exists in the world. Then I remembered that he shows up as what's his dumb
relative.
character name?
Yeah.
But it's like a combination of two other names. What's
Wait,
his
I don't
dumb
remember
character
this.
name?
The actor, that Graham McTavish comes back as another character?
Yeah, he's
Yes.
got hair.
Yeah. He was I can't remember his name. Do you remember the name?
He's a Mackenzie.
Yeah, he's a relative of the Mackenzies
So
in
it's
Scotland.
just like
but
a
is
Jack
in-
Black situation. Like
Sort of, but he's the
genes
guy-
are just so fucking strong.
He's the guy
Exactly.
that beats the shit out of Roger for talking to his wife because they had been on the boat together, remember? And then he's the one that takes Roger to
He's
go
also
get hung.
Roger is a Mackenzie, so he's Roger's ancestor.
That's right. That's yeah.
Which is why he was
Oh,
talking
okay.
to the woman, because she's his like 3 times great grandmother.
right, and he saved her on the boat several
yes,
times.
her and her kid,
yeah,
and thus probably himself. Let's be real,
yeah,
because again, we have to save the future.
Time travel is dumb.
yeah.
Time travel fucking rules.
I wish they did more of it on this show that is about time travel.
Well, there was
There's
some.
some good time travel.
So earlier you spoke of Ottertooth, but then there's the other guy that was part of the band of criminals who recognized that Claire was a time traveler when
Oh,
she
yeah.
said Jesus H. Roosevelt Christ. Remember? And he came up to her and he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm from where you're from." And then she's trying to get him to help her, and he won't help her.
Yeah,
Don't remember this at all.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Is
No
there
memory.
is this just the book, or does this happen in the show where he tells her a Beatles lyric,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, or he says something about Ringo Starr. Does
It's
the
a
name Ringo Starr?
The name Ringo Starr comes up, and they both look at each other and realize that they're both from the future.
That's the way that he sort of lets her know what's up without having to say like, "I too am from the 1960s."
Yeah, didn't he say, "Does the name Ringo Starr mean anything?"
Something
to you?"
like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like that. You don't remember that?
No, and I'm getting angry that this exists.
Well, it's
It's
really
dope.
It's
Does
really
he
terrible.
kind of look like the lead singer from Big Head Todd and the Monsters?
Yes.
Okay.
It's really terrible
definitely remember
because he is part of the band of criminals and he doesn't do anything to stop what happens to her.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the one guy who when she's like tied to a tree
Yes.
and everyone is taking turns assaulting her. He's the one guy who doesn't
Yes.
assault her but also does not
Stop it. Mm-hmm. And does he get away in Jamie's Revenge?
No, he's straight up murdered.
Does he get killed there? I can't remember. I think he might get away.
I'm just say he's murdered. Like, why would you leave if you're from Jamie's perspective?
Oh no,
nobody
he
left
said
behind.
kill them all.
Yeah.
He did. He said kill them all.
I know this might seem shocking, but not everything that Jamie says comes to fruition.
You know what?
Just everything he does, don't say it.
I think you mean everyone he does comes to fruition.
Any other questions, gentlemen?
Can I get another
Critiques?
beer?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. BRB listeners. Kevin, would you also like a beer?
Yeah, I was trying to gesture off mic.
That's okay. I'll cut this part out.
No, this is vital. Keep
Okay.
it in. I guess everything seems so in the past, obviously, because it was 2 years since the last season aired. I just don't remember. Thank you, Neil. One of these is still good. I just don't remember this season overall being that good. Is that a correct statement?
Some high highs and some low lows.
Yes, in my opinion, it was better than Boat season 3.
Thank you. I was going to ask what season that was.
I
Yeah.
think season 5 might be better than 3 and 4.
Yeah, I 4 felt kind of like a place filler, like we're getting into the colonies and like setting everything up.
Some good stuff in season
Some good
4.
stuff, but so far this season 5, I really thought that some of the stuff that was really, really good was better than it had been for the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of BS too. Like, for instance, I'll bring back my least favorite BS. Remember when Stephen Bonnet kidnapped Brianna and took her to his island?
Yes.
And then
Remember?
made her dress up?
Yes.
That was the worst.
Oh, that's
That
right. He was
shit-
like, I have this special dress for you, like I'm a Bond villain.
Oh my
and-
God. It was, when it started happening, I was like, do not, is he going to make her wear that dress? And I'm like, this is the stupidest trope.
Just because it's like serial killer bullshit.
It's
like,
just dumb. And it's old and worn out and boring. And it's just like, oh God, okay,
You know what?
fine.
The thing that makes me grumpiest about that storyline is is that fuck Stephen Bonnet and fuck all of the storyline, but that actor is really goddamn good.
Yeah, Ed Spielers is good.
He just should it should just be better.
Yeah, it was just a bad idea. And
He
so, like,
is a terrifying person. Like, he's terrifying.
He's like that charming where he plays it really well.
Psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's good. So,
Yeah.
like,
Knives in his eyes. Yeah.
there were parts of his performance in that episode that were good, but overall, it was completely destroyed. Any goodwill was destroyed by the fact of choosing that old chestnut of the kidnap, dress her up, and make her look like your dead wife or whatever the fuck that's about.
Mom.
Something. And so it just, that was probably my least favorite thing. I didn't much care for Never My Love for reasons that I've already gone into in the podcast, but specifically the episode where he kidnapped her and took her to and Neal, it was Ocracoke, which is an
yeah.
island we've been to.
Yeah.
Can I tell you about the mosquitoes on Ocracoke?
Bad.
No joke.
No joke.
See what I did there? No joke, Ocracoke.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good, Schumer.
Wait, you said
I
that
wish I'd had that when I was there. No, that's really good.
Yeah, I wish we would have been able to say that to my grandparents. Like, walk into the cabin that they were staying in and be like, "These mosquitoes, oh, no joke,
It would have been really good.
My granddad would have giggled.
No, this is admiration on my face that you're saying. I
It
feel like
really
you're skeptical.
isn't.
of
I'm
what-
extremely skeptical.
If you had seen these mosquitoes, you would know it's good.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah. This guy,
No. No.
look
I
at his
guess
face.
I'll just go Mopricoke.
no. No.
You'll go Mopra Cabana.
There it is. You're in timeout, Neal. Wait, you said that it was a mercy
Gives me
killing.
time to think of more Ocracoke rhymes.
Yeah.
Stephen
Yes.
Bonnet.
There's a
Is
thing
the
where
mercy to get him off the show?
Why did he get caught? I don't remember how he got caught.
they fucking found him.
Didn't he? Was it part of the meeting setup where
Jamie
it's like
and
the,
Ian cut off somebody's ear. You don't remember cutting off somebody's ear?
They were
That'll
in like
do
a
it.
boathouse, and they caught a guy in a boathouse.
Yeah, because they were trying to hook up with the smugglers to find Stephen Bonnet, right?
Yeah. And so they find him, and that's how he gets caught. But then he tells Brianna a thing about how he has a recurring nightmare about drowning. And the way that he is sentenced to death is he's put on a big stick.
Like a
and-
pier.
And shoved in the water
For the
until
tide to
the
come
tide
in.
comes in and drowns him. And Roger rows her out in a boat, and she shoots him so that he doesn't have to drown.
Oh,
In the show, though, she does it
right.
from the ground, from the beach.
Yeah.
But because remember, she's a sharpshooter. Because guess who taught her how to shoot a gun?
Frank.
Frank.
Our man Frank.
R.I.P. I hope Frank comes back this year. But
I
that
gotta
dude's
tell
busy.
you, yeah, Tobias is busy.
He's busy.
Yeah, he might have not have time to show for 5 minutes of this show anymore.
But that episode, I don't know, season 2 maybe, where it's like what Frank is dealing with while Claire's
Both
back.
sides now. One of the best episodes.
That's
Season one.
Season one. That's a great episode.
He's got some great episodes in season 2 as well.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking Tobias Menzies here.
We are.
He's good.
We're talking
the man-
Menzies. We're talking about our Menzies
We're
here.
talking about a guy.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Look, we're all in sync with our Menzies right now. Like,
Oh Lord.
Dudelander, that's the drop again.
Yeah.
And we're back.
Was that whale
We don't need
song?
Matt Test. We'll get a clear cut of that and we're good.
But say Dudelander the right way, like if you were that guy, the voiceover guy.
Dudelander.
No, that's a Dudelander. Like,
Oh,
you gotta go like,
like a
a
professional
monster
wrestling
truck
thing?
rally.
we're roaring F-150s,
Dudelander. That kind of thing? Okay.
screaming eagles, whale sounds. You want to start out
I
strong.
thought I was going for like an F-150 commercial sort of thing.
No, you're not
The
Will
new
Arnett.
Dudelander
right.
from Ford Motor Company.
Gravel pounding.
Gravel pounding, hard charging.
Speaking of hard charging, this season of Outlander, my God. See how
Nice try.
I'm just bringing it back left and right.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like there's one more thing I remembered about it.
Do you
and then it-
remember an exploding rock?
Remember? Do you remember? No, a rock explodes? Get the fuck out. What?
Yeah.
I mean, I can visualize an exploding rock, but
Tiny baby holds rock. Rock explodes.
Oh, that's right, Jimmy.
Jimmy has a superpower and he can crush rock? I don't get this.
no,
No,
what
it's
are
a-
you talking about?
It's a gem. It's like an unrefined gemstone,
Uh-huh.
and he holds it and he's like hot, 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 because they all feel that gemstone. It's how
Oh,
the time
right.
travel.
That's right.
thing,
No, we talked
and
about
it
how.
fucking explodes.
Yeah, we talked about how they figured out that Jimmy could travel 2 times.
Yeah,
But I didn't get
Exploding
into
rock.
the specifics
Exploding
of
rock.
that dumb shit.
Exploding rock. Excuse me.
Do you remember? I feel like I should do that every time.
It's either that or member berries. Like
Remember
that's
berries? Remember? So Jimmy had the exploding rock. Do you remember Ian coming back?
wait. Ian left at the
We
end
end
of
up went to
season
live with
4.
The Mohawk.
an indigenous tribe, right? Yeah.
He left at season 4. He was joined and was a part of the tribe, and then we don't see him at all until he shows up towards the end.
Middle of the season, I think. Wasn't it kind of mid 3/4 of the way through the season?
Do they tell him?
Is it tribe? Do we say tribe or do we say nation? I don't actually know if there's a right thing to say there.
I don't know either.
Well, we won't get into the Googles right now, but
We'll just say with the Mohawk.
The Mohawk.
there might be a question there, and I'm not sure the answer to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We will look that up. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in a village, a Mohawk village.
Mm-hmm.
When he comes back, they tell him that
Yes.
Claire's not of this time,
Yes.
and he's like, "Oh, I get
I
it."
always wondered because he comes back and he's really sad, like some bad shit happened
And
to
we
him.
still don't find. Do we find out what happened?
No, he had a wife,
Right.
and they weren't allowed to be married, or they lost a child.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a head nod on lost a child.
Okay. Right.
This show, Hank Azaria has this quote about, I think, The Simpsons, where to make episodes work, somebody has to be the idiot. So he always said, "Who's wearing the idiot hat this week?" And I honestly feel like this show, it's like, who's wearing the like tragic or sexual assault hat this week to make our storylines move?
That is valid.
And it's truly like a character can't exist in this world without one of the worst things happening to them. And then 2 episodes later being like, I'm mostly okay now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have to be there for you because you're now going through what I was going through 2 episodes ago. And that's how we get through season by season, right?
But on some level, isn't that just drama?
Yes. That was the point I was going to make.
But no, but it's like, I feel like this is too much. At times, it's like too many hats on top of hats.
But it's got to be for stories to be compelling on some level. It's got to be the most important things. I think it might actually be Tom Horman that said this to me one time. That if the story isn't about the most important thing that's happening in these people's lives, then why are we telling this story?
Why is the most important thing always this person is kidnapped, held against their will, and then sexually assaulted? Why is that consistently the most important thing?
I'm not disagreeing with you. So
Yeah.
this is me just talking out loud, not necessarily devil's advocate or disagreeing with you, but it's that something they've got to have a challenge to overcome,
Sure.
right? And then to some extent, these books, this show, are charging themselves with talking about tragic events that aren't necessarily as widely portrayed in similar stories.
There's also I have issues with the way that the show depicts these things, and
Yeah.
occasionally issues with the way that the books addresses them. But the books address them. But I do think that we are supposed to think that this is a brutal world because it was a brutal world. You know, like it was. Women gave birth and a lot of them died.
Mhm.
I mean, that still happens,
Yeah.
but like the everyday death was an everyday thing. I think is part of the point. And then the future storylines, that doesn't necessarily mean that like a more convenient world, a seemingly safer world is actually better. It's just brutal in a different way.
Fair. But in my brain, I see this sometimes like I'm not going to throw her under the bus, but like Diana Gabaldon has like a rubric and it's got a character name, and then it's like character names are in rows, and then the columns across the top is like all of these different things that could happen to them. And then there's like one column for sexual assault. And so it's like Jamie sexual assault season 1. Okay, we can't go back to that. Claire season 1. Well, we'll probably dip into that well again in season 5, or probably season 2 as well. And then it's like, it just seems like that it's that consistent tragedy that is happening, and it happens to almost every character. In that I'm gonna go out on a limb and predict, I don't know, Fergus sexually assaulted this season. Like
Fergus was sexually assaulted
there
as a
it is.
child.
There it is. Boom. Like,
I agree with you, but also they don't just let it like Jamie was raped in season 1, and it continues to be a plot point for him because it's a trauma that you don't ever really get over.
I would agree with that. That for the most part, they don't treat it as this phrase might be fraught, so feel free to correct me and suggest a better one. But they don't just treat it as a launching pad for some white knight behavior, right?
Yes.
Yes, that is true.
For the most part.
But that doesn't, I agree with Kevin on one level in that it happens a lot, and sometimes it feels like not as bad as Game of Thrones was, because once again, Game of Thrones had the whole, like, there's nothing that happens out of it. But it just feels like a plot point that is easy, not easy is the wrong word, but is a place to go to raise stakes really high.
It's the difference between
AC/DC. It's like how AC/DC's guitar player said that they've basically made the same album 10 times, right? They just keep remaking the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I'm saying that that's what I hear you saying.
It's
Is that
just
like,
it's a
oh,
shorthand to raise stakes.
when I do this, it works, and everyone is interested in this.
Well, I think we're sort of talking about two separate issues, because there's doing a thing badly and there's doing it too often. And Outlander mostly does it well, but I think too often.
AC/DC also does it well.
But I want to challenge that, because if you do it too often, are you still doing it well? If you're doing this every season, there's a new character.
Well, I mean, that's the difference. That's why I said it's the difference between Outlander and Game of Thrones. Is that Game of Thrones did it too often and badly.
Yeah.
But I think that if you keep doing this, right, there's 2 more seasons right now that it's scheduled to air. If you keep doing this, twice this season, eventually one of these is not going to be handled well.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you're gonna, if you keep going to this well, you're going to run into an issue where you're like,
Well,
I'm gonna
I-
shortchange
You may
this.
be right,
I
but
do
I don't
think
know that
we
they're
are-
there yet.
I do think that we are mostly done. I mean, who know? Again, you're right. It was a man in a bear suit and not an actual bear, as it is in the books. I don't know what's coming.
Things are surprising.
Chewing on Shaman.
But I have, as longtime listeners will know, been quietly letting Julie know in little dribs and drabs when she needs to be prepared for something very violent against a woman to take place. And if memory serves, there's obviously still lots of violence. It's a violent show that's set during a period
war.
of huge upheaval and violence, right? But I think we might be off the sexual assault train.
So you're saying that we can tell the bees that sexual assault is gone?
Woof.
Sorry.
Listeners, we're sorry.
The comments of Neal do not reflect Kevin.
Anyway, this is a very this is my favorite thing about Dudelander.
Every once in a while, no, every single time.
It's like
You're
once
It's totally
every
accidental.
time we're just asking monkeys to type until they type out Hamlet, but then they do.
But then
No,
they
we didn't type out Hamlet, but we definitely typed out Our Town. You know, it's good, but it's not a Hamlet good.
Why are you picking on our town?
Yeah.
Look, because it is a good American play, but I don't think it is on the same level as Hamlet. But at the same time, you know,
You definitely didn't type our town.
I could listen.
Come on.
Me and a bunch of monkeys, we could type out Thornton Wilder, Matchmaker, Our Town. We'll knock them all out.
deep
No.
cut with the matchmaker.
I mean, really, what, skin of our teeth is too low for
Wasn't
you?
there one about dinosaurs? Oh, that's Skin of Our Teeth. That's the one with the dinosaurs, right?
Are there dinosaurs in Outlander?
Yeah,
Bring it
are they
back.
going to travel back?
Oh
Yeah.
my god! Do
what
we
if,
ever see a dinosaur?
What if a T-Rex touches a
Can I
stone and
tell you a
travels
fan
forward?
theory?
Allison just waggled her eyebrows at me. We're gonna see dinosaurs.
No, we're not.
Damn it.
But there is. It's a fan theory, but it's also sort of a character in a book theory, where it's both. It's character in a book theory that the Loch Ness monster is real
Yes.
because there's
There's a dick
There's-
rock underneath him.
there's a lay point, like a place where Dick Rock, like if it was land and not a loch, there would be a stone circle in the middle of Loch Ness.
Oh, is that a thing that the stones raise on the ley line?
That's
ley
what
lines?
yeah, I mean there are all kinds of theories, right? But they mark places of transformation or whatnot. So they think that an aquatic dinosaur accidentally traveled in time and is living in the lake, and that's what
Why not?
the Loch Ness monster
Why
is.
not?
That is so much more interesting to me than Stephen Bonnet being like, well, somehow I have this very nice dress that's your exact size, and I want you to wear it while I pretend some weird fantasy. Like, no, give me more fucking dinosaurs and lakes. And
Agreed.
that, I really wish this show leaned more into the time travel aspect.
You know what I am fascinated by with the show that I wish we had even more of, even though we do have a lot, is Claire and going through and trying to slowly introduce modern medicine, like little things, right?
Yeah.
Like that shit is always cool. Like the penicillin, fucking Brianna making the little bucket needle out of the snake's tooth. Remember the snake that bit him also saved him. Get it?
Oh yeah.
But really, what saved him
That's
was
a
that hand job.
metaphor.
Well,
Hair of the dogs,
Roger
the snake.
sucking the poison out of his leg and keeping him conscious all fucking night.
Yeah.
So hot.
And then yelling for help with his broken
Yes, remember he couldn't
voice.
yell. That was part of it too, because he didn't have his voice. But that whole thing where she's trying to
There's
introduce.
a really, I think it'll be this season, a really, really good. It's a specific medicine thing that I think should happen this season. I've told you about it before, but you've definitely forgotten.
Oh, completely.
Was
All right,
it,
cool.
Sorry, was it going back to a bunch of questions? Was it the season 5 or season 4 where they flash forward to her colleague, the doctor,
Oh right.
and then they like somehow saw his bones again? Am I making this up? No.
His bones again.
Right? Isn't there something where like there's something with his skeleton?
No,
The
that was
African-American
Gail's
doctor
season.
from-
Yeah.
that was before, and that was Gaelis' skeleton.
Oh, all right.
Because of the cave where she got got a nice axe to the head.
Mm-hmm.
Where did we see her skeleton?
In the future, in the 60s,
Yeah.
in the Harvard lab where they were like doing forensic.
Joe Abernathy.
Joe
had her-
Abernathy is the
He
doctor's
had
name.
Claire
Thank
do
you.
the thing where he's like, "Why don't you do that thing where you figure out how somebody died, but try it with, or what's wrong with someone, but try it with bones instead of people?" And she's like, "Great. So this was a woman, and I think she got a blunt instrument to the head." And he's like, "Yeah, well, this is a skull that's centuries old." And then it was Gaelis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And Claire put
but that
the
was
blunt-
not this season.
And he
this
was the
sounds
one
same.
that he was also the one that was like, this was a white woman. Like he had more knowledge of like the skeletal structure and was like, so you hear this 2 seasons before you see Claire kill her in that cave.
I think that's the
Oh.
same season.
Is it the same season?
Yeah.
End of the season?
That
It's
would-
season
'cause otherwise we would
3.
never connect
Season
those two
3.
things.
Honestly, if I can't remember something that happened
Season 3. It
How
was on a
important
boat.
could it
It's
be?
Yeah,
season
right?
3. You actually literally are the one who brought it up. So
I know. Well, I thought it was this season.
Season.
I thought there were more flash forwards to like the 60s and 70s in this season.
no, this
than there
season
really
is
are.
there's she hallucinates.
in the last
um,
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that I think is it.
Is this the season where Roger outdoors in the future maybe he's traveled to America and he's like outdoor at some sort of folk music event or something?
That's
No.
season 3.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
No, season 4. Right?
No, season 3.
When they're in the Highland thing? I thought that was season 4.
When he sings a song and we're like, my God, this guy
Yeah,
just
because
fucking sings all the
so
time."
Claire goes back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's season 3. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
God, that is season 3?
Lots of
Season
stuff
2
happened
is
in
France.
Season 3.
I really hope that all of your listeners listen to this and it really just adequately prepares them for what's going to come in season
Are you
6.
kidding? They don't need to be prepared.
Just me being
They
like,
know.
did this
All of them have read these
happen?"
books.
No,
Is this how
all of them
this
have
happened?
not. But
Yeah.
they're ready. Nobody needs your help.
This
Oh.
Kevin Lambert primer's not helping people.
I
Remember that
did.
time that there was like a dead body from a hand grenade, right? That's this show, right? Yeah. There was a tank. Yeah.
I did find something out today that I think you're going to appreciate.
Hit me.
Season 6 upcoming premiere March the 6th. Only 8 episodes.
I also saw that
Mm-hmm.
in my extensive Wikipedia research. I
Is
saw
it
that.
one season or is it a two-parter?
No, it's 1 season.
Okay.
But it's cinematic.
What does that mean?
Oh, what's my least favorite thing that TV showrunners say?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's closer to an 8-hour movie.
Oh.
No, you're making a television show.
Yeah, just do that.
It's like actually a television show. I know that it's a television show because it's in episodes.
Yeah, because isn't a movie really
It's
just like
fucking-
an hour and a half long television show?
No. Nope. Nope.
she's not taking that bait, bud.
Nope.
They are, when they say that, right? Are they meaning that it's not necessarily going to be 55 minutes every episode? That some might be
What they mean is
extended, or
it's
that
not
they're bigger shit.
What they mean is I'm a genius and there are things that I put in this first episode that are also important in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I invented television.
And also my penis.
What? What? No. What? Things are gonna carry?
It really
Yeah.
fucking drives me
It's
nuts.
going to come back again.
It's
and
a
kind
again.
book?
of fucking lingering elitism about TV as like a tawdry medium, that cinema is high art and TV is crass mass market bullshit, which is just
Everybody
not the
likes
case
TV
anymore.
better now.
Everybody's always liked TV better because it's in their homes.
Guys, I think maybe you like TV better.
Yeah.
I think people like things.
I think people like having it in their homes.
I like some TV better,
I like movies very much.
and I like some movies better. So you might say I'm an interesting character. Put me on USA because this character is welcome.
Just letting that wash over me.
Yeah, this beer just hit. This is when the commentary gets interesting.
Now's the time for the hard-hitting
critiques.
questions.
That's
Yes,
right.
critiques.
That was my
What is...
Yes. Kevin.
that was the start of my critique initially. Is like
Wait.
who passes the
Right. That's
the
right.
assault baton? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
you have, we're already in critiques then.
Yes.
No.
Because I would be more interested in Kevin's like high points, compliments. What things did Kevin really like about this season?
Okay, so this is where it gets very difficult, right? Like we're 2 years past.
Yeah,
this.
it's a long time ago.
So my question to you guys, like, was this a good season overall? And I think Julie, your response of there were highs and
Allison's,
lows,
but
oh,
I
Allison,
agree,
sorry,
yes.
yes, there were highs and lows, but more highs than lows.
There were more. It was season 4 was for me sort of
Middle.
flat.
Yeah.
There were lower points this season. Like there were things I liked a lot less this season, but the highs were higher, and it was significantly more ambitious, which I think is good for the show at this phase. Because not everything they tried worked, but like they did the episode about Rogers hanging, which is like the style of a silent movie. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and they did all the flash forward stuff with Never My Love.
It is like a
and-
movie.
Oh my God, Neal.
A silent one, yeah.
He just did that to you.
Anyway, there are some really good performances and some, the higher highs, lower lows. I think more good than bad, and ambition when a show is getting a little bit long in the tooth is always a good thing. So generally positive is my take. Yeah. But it's not season 1 or season 2. I mean, it just like
It's
we
very
just need to
difficult.
reconcile ourselves to the fact that Outlander is never going to be what it was in season 1. And
Well,
season
and
2
you've
again.
read the books, and is it
Yes.
the same thing with the books? That
No.
the
The books are bonkers. I love
so,
them.
so you're saying that the early run of the books that are covered by season 1 and season 2 is not necessarily the best part of the best section of the books.
Yeah, it's the books are a wild ride, and they're
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
they're all over the they're Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. They're all over the place.
And they end in hell?
No, it's not done
way.
yet. Books are still
Virginia.
being written. But I got a good reminder because I read the most recent one, which we're going to be doing an episode on, and I fucking tore through it because it's
Compelling.
She's a compelling writer, and she's really good at crafting character and finding like interesting beats. And she
And that's Tell the Bees That I Am Gone.
Go
right?
Tell the Bees That I'm Gone. Yes. So it's not a books thing. This is the show Outlander, regardless of source material, was better constructed in seasons 1 and 2 than it has been since then. And that's, I think, largely because Ronald Moore, who is a legitimate giant of television, is mostly hands off on the show now, is my impression.
When
Which
did
there are
he-
still some great writers on board. There are still some great directors on board, but
Costuming
it's
is
just
still
not,
great,
Costuming is great.
It just feels different.
Casting is great.
We had a change in costumers, though, right?
Yes.
Sorry, when did Ronald B. Moore step away? Season?
Well, he hasn't. He's still an executive producer, but he is not the showrunner.
Okay.
And I couldn't tell you off the top of my head whether that was season 2 or season 3.
Okay.
But it's been Matthew B. Roberts as the showrunner
I think
for a
season
while.
3.
Yeah.
So Ronald B. Less.
Welcome to Dudelander. Screeching Eagles.
Vroom,
Dudelander.
I just went to a little room in my head for a minute.
So you asked me Neal, like
Yeah.
what my highs were. Sorry to.
Yes,
Please.
no,
Bring it back.
I like this. Let's end on a
How
positive
dare you bring
note.
it back?
We're ending?
Is this over?
Oh
No,
God,
it's
I
not-
have so
it
much more to
doesn't have to
discuss.
end.
No, you really don't.
You really don't. You don't remember shit.
I closed my phone with my open questions
start mad-libbing
hours
this
ago.
shit.
Yeah. Claire is an adjective that describes verb. I honestly don't think I can remember outside. It was hard enough for me to come up with a list of things I remembered from 2 years ago. So it's hard to come up with like what I think is a great moment because I don't. In discussing it, I remember Sam Huon like trying to get Claire to revive Murtaugh, but I don't. Coming in this morning, that is not a thing that I pulled up in my mind palace. But in talking through it, yeah. But so I guess is it really an impactful and memorable moment if it takes an hour's worth of discussion for me to like?
But also 2 years ago, so that's,
Yeah.
it's like a balance, right?
Two pretty intense
Yes.
years.
Yes.
Why? What happened?
Oh, dude.
Well, I was just about to say that all
never gonna
seriously
believe me.
affected our short-term memory, so that works. Yeah, I mean, I think with the moment you're talking about specifically, I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to be super objective about that episode of television because it led to that funeral, which was like a huge thing, I think, for both of us.
Yeah.
Which is like goofy, but that meant a lot to me. That was a bit that was just going to be a joke, and then it was a very moving experience.
It
So-
was, but it happened at a point where I think foolishly I was like, oh, this is a silly way. I haven't seen Allison. I haven't seen I haven't seen anyone in this room in person, but I hadn't seen like Allison in so long, since like February. And that was the first time I had seen you during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And in my brain, I foolishly thought like, maybe things will get better when it gets warmer out. And I was just like, oh, this is like a fun little thing, but it's something I needed in that moment because you had spent months indoors and isolated. So yeah, that was a really wonderful, stupid, silly night.
Yeah,
So, that's the high. That's the high to me, is that came out of it.
Murtaugh's wake.
Yeah.
and it was also a good episode, and Duncan the
That
Quarry is
episode
so
was
good, and that wig was so majestic.
Oh my god.
So let's not forget the wig.
No.
Highs and lows with wigs too, but that's a real high.
Yeah, his wig was great.
Toit.
And it just made me be like, why wasn't this much care and love given to Jamie's wig for the past 4 seasons? It's much better now.
It's better now. Yeah.
But they took a note.
Yeah.
But damn, season 3, season 2, woof.
Crunchy.
Not great.
Yeah. That I agree with you. That is my high too. There are some artistic high points in the season, but that like experience of community and fandoms can be really toxic, but almost all fandoms can be really toxic, and that's true of the Outlander fandom too. But that was just, I mean, there were fucking over 100 people there.
Yeah.
You know, like it was really cool. We were all just celebrating this character that we love, and yeah, so that was my high point too. For
I
sure.
agree. Neal,
Yeah.
high points?
Neal would like me to say on his behalf, ditto.
And
His
that's
mic
gonna do it for us. Thank you so much for listening to Podlander podcast. Why do we do these episodes?
Because it's funny. These guys, they actively take the time and effort to watch this show.
That's true. That's
So-
true.
I will say, I almost demanded this because I did the homework, and if I didn't take the test, I was going to be fucking furious
It's
for
not
doing
just
the
you.
homework.
People who listen to our podcast really enjoy
Oh yeah,
the
we've been
Dudelander
getting
episodes.
when is Dudelander coming out questions.
Well,
for a
here you
while.
go. It's kind of a turd. We forgot a lot of stuff.
Hope
See you in
you're
season
happy.
6.
Not a turd.
It's not a turd. It's just a chat.
But we will for sure do one for season 6 in a more timely fashion.
Yeah, now that we know.
It was so funny because they were like, "Well, you should wait to do Dudelander until you can all do it in person." And we were like, sure.
Yeah, when.
Yeah.
And here we are. We did it.
But you
we
know
waited,
what?
We
Hey,
did it.
we survived, y'all.
We did it.
did it. God, I feel like it keeps the weird pandemic trauma that none of us can wrap our minds around yet keeps sneaking up on me, and I definitely got some of it in the course of this episode. So that's a surprise. Some nice light listening.
It just always does take you by surprise because it's just so easy to forget.
Yeah.
Because you're just living. You're just doing your day-to-day
You're just
shit.
vibing,
You're
and
just
then all of a
vibing.
sudden-
And then you're like, 2
Oh,
years of
right.
my life completely gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, tune into Outlander on March 6th. But seriously, I'll record a thingy with all the people's names in it
Yep.
so that these clowns don't fuck it up.
That's fair. I would have fucked it up. I
But
would've.
Kevin and Neal,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
I look forward to the first episode of our new spinoff, Podlander Drunkcast, where we talk about basketball, and I just talk about Outlander. I like basketball.
I do too. But we've kind of fallen off the train. Did you know that Neil and I did not realize it was All-Star Weekend?
Well, I mean, he told me he didn't watch the dunk contest.
We didn't.
We go watch the dunk contest. We go watch
Every
All-Star
year.
Saturday Night every year, and I didn't even realize it was happening this
I
weekend.
almost texted you last night to be like, "Are you going to the O to watch this?"
Right.
And then I went, "No, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll just talk about it." I assumed you knew.
No, I didn't. I already made plans anyway. So
Well,
couldn't,
can I say
but
that dunk contest was about as...
Save it for the spinoff.
No, I'm saying it right now. This is to tease the spinoff.
Oh,
That dunk contest was
Tease me.
about as riveting as how I find most of the series of Outlander.
Bye. Bye. And that is the end of the episode that we recorded, that you have heard, that I have not heard because I'm recording this outro later. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/PodlanderCast. You can find us on Twitter at PodlanderCast. You can find us on Instagram at PodlanderCast and Podlander Presents and Sickburn Jane and some other cool places. Come say hi. We want to talk to you. We want to thank all of you for listening because you're amazing, but we especially want to thank our patrons who make it possible for us to do this show and to have all of this big idiot fun. We love you so much. Thank you a ton. That thanks is for everyone, but we especially want to thank the following lovely folks: BG, Just Bree, Maddie Perkins, Snazenak, Lisa Brienne, Julia Gulia, Kathleen Martini, Lauren Tennant, Kelsey Kemp, Emily Day, Betsy English, Caitlin Reddick, Jen Collins, Ashley Tigeson, Kristen Freckled, Fiore, Laura Culm, Amelia Bazell, Liz and Tinkerbell, Stella Welch, Tori Halligan, Claire Feeney, Rochelle Lefevre, Heather Robbins, Jerry Hurdle, Emily Carlson, Amy Gustafson, Rachel Townsend, Kelly Mazzella, Chantel Salters, Mary the Falling Statue, Tara Lucchino, Viv Pickles, aka Laura, Mary of the Grapefruit, Jenna Bulkowski, Ann Gibson, Ruth McCormick, Kara Marlowe, Trish McCrary, Julie DeToit, Jen Lynn, Kelly Bodden, Amanda Newton, and Kiki the Wise. You're all amazing. Thank you so much. We will be back to talk about Outlander very soon. Bye.